Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome back. I bring you Voltax, the #1 best utility light in the world, for only $4.50 at Dollarama, or a whole whopping $16.45 per unit at Amazon.ca. Yes, Amazon is finally a rip-off joint when it comes to this flashlight. Okay, Voltax Sonics Super Bright. The lumen is 900. It's a utility light for emergencies to everyday use. Best indoor and outdoor LED light. Woohoo! You have 900 lumens across 60. Yes, you heard it, 60 SMD lights. And you have a whole 10 lumen out of the front light if you're buying the Amazon one, because yeah, it's only LED bulbs on the front, which are wussy, where this has a cob in the front, so it's definitely a little more than 10 lumen, that's for sure. Anyways, but it's definitely not 900 lumens. I kid you not. It is nowhere near 900. Now, whether you use the included cheap batteries that come with these things or you use energizers, do not expect much difference in brightness. But you will expect, if you use Energizer or Duracell, exceedingly much longer run times before they puke out and die on you, as opposed to using included batteries or the cheap batteries at the dollar store. Please, folks, stop buying garbage batteries. Buy Energizer, buy Duracell, and leave all the others behind, because they're all garbage otherwise for alkaline batteries. Okay? I've done enough experimenting over the years with brands like Dorsey, Dynex, Rayovac, Reactor, Eveready. The list is continual, okay? They're junk in all electronics, okay? Especially electronics that demand anything, okay? They're garbage. Even in RC toys, I would not suggest cheap batteries, but parents do still buy them because they're cheap and inexpensive. But they're going to go through a lot, and all you are is throwing money in the trash can about every 5 seconds, okay? I would rather get several hours of use with Energizer or Duracell as opposed to getting 5 seconds or 20 minutes or maybe an hour, depending on the device, okay? So, but utility light being the best? No, sir. Definitely is not. So, marketing ploys of Amazon for you. Now, in the real world, I don't know the exact lumens. I don't have a lumen tester, but I have a pretty good idea of lumens and their ratings and what the brightness should be, give or take, on the average rated light. Okay? So, but there are people out there that do have luminescent testers to test what the lumen power of a light actually is. I just don't have that kind of equipment. So, anyway. But I will say this, it is not 900 lumens, okay, that you're going to be producing out of this front panel. But it is actually pretty bright, and I want to show you that too in two modes. First, this is high, okay? This is what I call low. Some people say medium. This is our front cob, okay? This is our flashlight part, okay? And it's definitely a cob, as you can see. Now, in the dark world, we're going to just point this to the ceiling. Now, although it doesn't light up the entire room, it does light things up fairly decently, okay? Next setting is much lower, of course, which is why I call it low mode. Then we have our flashlight, which can do stuff up close rather brightly. We can find stuff and look around, and we can get a bit of distance out of this thing, but not an exceedingly high square footage of distance going in any direction, okay? It's good for very close up, type of thing. I mean, if you got to walk to your shed, you got to dig out your car keys because you forgot to turn the porch light on, like we do at times, because we always like to say, oh, we're going to be home before it gets dark. Yeah, like that has ever happened. We always get home and it's dark. We live out in the country, and out here, we don't have light pollution to worry about, which is fantastic. Also, it gets so dark out here, especially when the moon's not out, that you cannot see your hands in front of your face, so you need some sort of lighting. Now, this is not going to light up your whole friggin' yard, let me tell you. Okay? It's going to light up an area that's sizable enough to see within about 15, 20 feet, maybe. Okay? But it's definitely going to get the job done. Now, I personally have used these for working underneath RV trailers because that's one of the things I happen to do for a living. It's a seasonal job too. And I work underneath and I'm working on suspension. It works good for doing that because I can just flip up the little kickstand and put her on the floor and it sits kind of like at an angle like this. And I can get at the bolts and the plates and, change the parts out, right? I've tried adjusting brakes from in behind because that's where I have to, obviously, and it doesn't work so well for that, okay? But these were a pacifier until I found myself a new work light, which ended up being this sucker here. And this thing works really well. In fact, it works exceedingly well because it does have a nice magnet on. I wouldn't say super strong, but nice enough it'll hold to even a rusted spring underneath somebody's trailer, and I can pop it there and adjust the brakes and see inside the little holes the way I need to. So this works great, and this was under $20 on Amazon. So good deal, but does run on 3 batteries, double A's. And of course, I'm changing batteries often, and I'm starting to get fed up with throwing money into the trash can, so I'm trying to get more into rechargeable items. So I've now since replaced this with this Rakettes, okay? And this has a cob on it that is way brighter than that big one, but also way brighter. But I also get the benefit of a flashlight and zoomability, and it is fully rechargeable, and I can even take the battery out of this thing by unscrewing the back cap, and I can change out to the next fully charged battery that I have in my collection. No big deal. When you recharge these things, you can recharge them either in the flashlight or get an external charger and recharge them and have a few extras on hand in case it just up and dies on you. And of course, being that these are very powerful milliamp batteries, you get an exceedingly long run time. Okay, so benefits of rechargeable stuff. Now, the dollar store does sell rechargeable batteries too, mainly AAAs. I haven't seen any doubles there yet, but they're $4 a pack, and I managed to scoop a couple of packs today while we were in North Bay. Among another flashlight I scored at a really good deal at Giant Tiger, which we'll be reviewing very shortly. But these batteries come pre-charged. I don't have a charger for them, so I hope they got full power in them like they say they're supposed to. But I do have a way of charging them. I have hobby grade RC chargers, and I have some little gizmos I can put them in, and I can actually charge them. In the meantime, I'm going to have to order a proper charger, obviously, for those. But dollar store, they sell the batteries, but not the charger. I don't know why they don't sell the charger. It would only make sense, right? If you're going to sell the battery, sell the charger. Hello? Okay. So, but this has come in useful for that purpose. It would be great light if you're on the highway, you're stuck in a jam, you got to change, put your spare tire on. Yep, you can just, pop the stand down and put it there and light up your wheel nuts, take them off, change your tire, okay? Does have a hook on the back as well, hanging hook, great for, in the closet. So you women, if you want to get a better look at your dresses and skirts and other stuff in there, this would work for you. Hang it up somehow and you've got 360-degree rotation, okay? But even with guys, you can hang this thing up pretty much wherever and use it for whatever purpose. It's extra light on the subject. It works. Now, as far as the magnet goes, though, it's a useless piece of junk. It can barely even hold the weight of the flashlight on a flat steel surface, okay? It is a very poor quality magnet. Don't rely on it. It ain't going to work. And if you jiggle that area, it'll fall right off. That's how wussy the magnet is, okay? Very weak. However, for $4.50 though, it's worth it all day long. It's a very useful light. As you can tell, it definitely is very bright and does a nice job, okay? But it does that really well with Energizers or Duracells. $16.45 per unit on Amazon. Do not buy it. There's 32 ratings currently with an average of 4 out of 5. There are a lot of 5-star ratings up here. And there were definitely a few gullible people that not only ordered a couple of these, but they decided to say that they were also going to order a pile more of them. And I'm like, are you crazy at $16.45 a piece? I mean, for $13.50 pre-tax, I can get 3 of these at Dollarama. And these are Canadians. And this is a product available apparently only in Canada from what I can find. Because I checked Amazon.com. They don't have them. I checked to see if there's a Dollarama in the U.S. Nope, no Dollarama in the U.S. It's a Canadian company. So, guess what? You go on Amazon, you're going to get totally, totally ripped off. Also, the one on Amazon has 4 little LEDs on the front, which are not going to produce even 10 lumen. This would produce 10 lumen really easily, if not probably slightly a little bit better than 10 lumen with having the cob. And then you're going to definitely get these with the cob at Dollarama. Amazon, I'm not so sure about because, yes, they do show and say it's 10 lumen out of the front LEDs, but remember, they also say on Amazon and at Dollarama that this is 900 lumens out the front, and it is not anywhere near that. Okay? So don't be fooled, but it is bright and it can work in a multitude of situations, including a power outage. If you happen to have one, it can guide your way to your generator if you have one. Maybe you just blew a breaker and knocked out the lights. Who knows? It'll get you to your fuse box. It's going to light up rooms, not completely, but give you enough light that you're not going to be whacking your baby toe on everything in front of you. The baby toe is a very useful toe. It seems to find anything with an edge, as we know. Okay? Trust me, I'm one of them too. So, but they are plastic, which is to be expected for the price too. But they do take a bit of a beating. I mean, I've knocked this one around quite a bit in the shop, and I've not busted it yet. Earlier today, trying to do this video, this is about my 15th, no, more like my 50th attempt. This thing just butterfingered right out of my hand, smacked on my hard floor, smacked against my computer desk on the side, and it popped the big hanger off. The stand. Oh, come on, timing. And the only thing that happened was I broke a little corner. Now that's pretty good because I've had these for about a year, and these have been beaten across the floor in the shop, my toolbox and everything. I slid them across the floor, you name it, and it took that much, and I finally just and the cover came off, the batteries flew out in here, and that's the most I've done. It was just that, and I just took the one thing out, popped the bracket back in, screwed it back in, and it works perfectly fine. There's still enough meat holding on there that it's not going to come apart on me, so it's all good. So, I mean, I think pretty good for $4.50. I mean, I'll give them a 4 out of 5, easy enough. Why it's losing points? It's not perfect. It's not producing 900 lumens like they say it does out of the front panel, the main panel here with the SMDs. As far as the cob goes, I think it's definitely at least 10 or more lumen. It's definitely pretty bright compared to what a regular LED bulb can do, which is very little, okay? They suck. I've got scabs of them. Don't forget, I'm also an RCer for the last several years, and so I've bought a lot of LED bulbs and ultra whites, ultra bright whites, because I was doing headlight kits and stuff for my RCs, and I needed really super bright white lights, so I bought into these. And even though they can be bright, they're really not that good. And even with a bunch of them going across the front end, they still can't produce the light that this cob can do. So that's where I would say the one on Amazon, if it actually does come with just the LEDs in the front, being that it's the same unit otherwise, I'm going to say no way is it putting out even anywhere close to 10 lumens. And this thing's probably putting out that or more, okay, out of the front cob. But you're not getting 900 out of this panel. It's not a happening thing. Anyhow, but yeah, I still think that if you want a very inexpensive flashlight, you don't want to pay big money. Like, you could pay an easy $10, $12 for similar stuff at Home Hardware. We were looking at Home Hardware today. We went to different dollar stores to see what they had. Now, they definitely have these at the dollar store because that's where they came from, was Dollarama. And they got a scab load of these in stock, by the way, in North Bay at the one store for sure. Not every Dollarama is going to carry the exact same products even at the same time, but you're definitely going to be able to get your hands on them. But for $4.50, I think they're worth the money, and they're very useful. But just remember the battery thing. Don't use garbage batteries because they're not going to last for long in this thing, okay? You got to use Energizers or Duracells. With running Energizers in this alone, which is primarily what's been in this thing, I would say I've had to change the batteries maybe, well, even for the amount of jobs I do underneath trailers with these lights, in a month, I would probably say twice a month I had to change my batteries. because they got too low of power, right? And when they start getting too low, they get a little flaky with the lighting. They'll like click in and out a little bit. So you'll kind of know like, oh, getting a little weak there. And that was on the high setting. And I always need the high setting myself. But they do have a multitude of uses, and that's the big thing here. And they're very inexpensive. So for a $1 thing, very cheap, very, very decent for what you're getting, right? It is decent. It's not as said for ratings, but it's pretty bright. You know, you got to admit, right? But I wouldn't buy them on Amazon. A lot of people are making that mistake, and they're thinking, "Wow, that's a great deal for that." I mean, you can't even build one for $5. Of course not. But you can build 500 million of them for about 15 cents a piece. Okay, this is where profit comes in. Okay, mass production society, people, right? But this seller is taking advantage of people, and then he's selling them for $16.45 a piece, which is a ripoff. So don't buy them on Amazon. But I am including the link to Amazon just so you can read the reviews, if anything. And also you'll be able to see the comparison of this here versus theirs. And it's still Voltax, but I don't know why the difference here with the front being LEDs on theirs and Dollarama has the cob. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just a picture stupidity mistake. I don't know. But I'm not spending $16.45 on even one of these on Amazon to find out. But they are exactly the same otherwise. Everything else is exactly the same. But take it as you will for that one. But like I said, check the link if you want. But I would just run down to your nearest Dollarama if you have an interest in this sort of thing. And you're also a cheapskate like I can be too. These things do have a lot of uses. And I have uses I can use them for around the house. So it's not a big deal for me either way. Anyhow, that's what I got for you on this one. Stay tuned. We do have a really cool looking, at least, flashlight I picked up at Giant Tiger that I want to check out with you guys. It is rechargeable, and I only paid $18, and that's regular everyday price. That's not even a Black Friday price. So I'm kind of curious myself to see how well this thing does. So, and I'm sure you guys will be too. So don't forget to check that video out. And as a reference point, it's called a LumiGlow. So if you look up LumiGlow on my channel later in the evening, you'll easily come across that. But if you are subscribed to my channel and you've clicked that bell for notifications, you should get a notification of that video going up. I also did manage to score some rechargeable AAAs from the dollar store, so we're also going to see what they're like as well. I don't know if I'll get that one done tonight or not, but I want to get the other one done for you guys too. Now, in the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one. See ya.